All right, guys, welcome back to Crossman Productions. Hey, guys, man, if you guys missed PowerSlap 8, I'm telling you guys, you got to go back and watch it. Um, I'm going to be talking to Ron a little bit later today, but I put the link to PowerSlap 8. Before that interview, definitely go back and watch the matches if you missed them. Man, there was a lot of great matches um, in that, in Power Slap 8. And a couple of things that I was really happy to see is, first of all, the women's division is starting to grow. We had Paige Van Zant come in from the UFC. I think she's going to bring, a lot of, viewers. Watching this thing grow from the beginning to where it's at now, it's just been incredible. But one of the matches that really, impressed me during Power Slap 8 was with Munez and Anthony Babyface Blackburn. So I had to get Blackburn to come on the show because we got to talk about that match. I love bringing these guys in and hearing their stories too, man. So let's bring Anthony in. What's up, brother?
What's
There
up,
it is,
man?
man.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Awesome. Healing up pretty good. We're not looking too bad, but
Right?
healing up.
Hey, they said something about that, like in the beginning, that you have problems with your eye every time that you get into these. Man, that first hit, I thought, man, that was a major hit, blow from Munez, man.
Dude's tough. He hits hard. I'm telling you.
Right? So, so let me do this because I kind of want to bring people in and get to know you a little bit more about you as a person too. Um,
hmm
so, kind of tell people who you are and kind of where you were born and raised, and what was life like for Anthony growing up.
Yeah. Anthony Blackburn. I was born in Detroit, and I grew up downriver. Downriver is a few city parcels south and east of Detroit, and tight knit community, real good community. Grew up in nice neighborhood, had neighborhood kids to play with outside and whatnot. So I was real active and always doing something outside and whatnot as a kid.
Right. So,
Um, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you ever play any sports or anything while you were?
Wrestling, football, those were my two big ones. I ran track for a few seasons. A little cross country once or twice here and there, but mostly football and wrestling.
Okay. So, let me ask you this: what drew you to Power Slap?
Seeing these videos on YouTube and online, and how you could feel the energy
Right.
from these videos, and just wanting to experience it and partake in something so viral.
Right. So,
So the way I signed up was I was, at home on a Saturday, just scrolling on Facebook, and I popped across the ad on Facebook and said, "Do you think you got what it takes? And sign up here." And I popped in my information. It took maybe 2-3 minutes, and it was sent off and good. And I thought I was pretty cool for just doing that. Not many people would even have the guts to sign up for it.
right.
And so they ended up, messaging me back a couple of weeks later, said, "Hey, we can get you a match if you're still interested. You just have to clear medicals, and we'll set you up."
So, when you went to your first match, kind of explain what that was like.
Oh, wow. So it was a little unnerving getting to the airport, and you're just following these emails telling you show up at this place, be here at this time, and not knowing if it's going to be for real or not is kind of a little thing in the back of your mind, like I might be getting picked up and taken away for real right now. So it was kind
Right.
of scary and nerve-wracking until we got to the airport, and you land, and there's a Bell Transportation individual with your name on the iPad, and he takes you to the brand new 2024 Chevy Tahoe. I was like, oh, this is real. Yeah, for sure. And all the worry went away there, and then it was time to lock in, and it was game time.
Wow. So, being in your first Power Slap, um, whenever they told you that it was a go that you had a match, what did you start doing to prepare for that?
I didn't really prepare for much for my first match. It was kind of a see how we do off the couch kind of deal,
Right.
So we went, and that first match was no experience, never been hit in my face like that ever. I've never been in a fight before PowerSlap.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm usually a nice person, don't try to get too violent.
Right.
But I saw PowerSlap as a way to release, like get that tension and anger out of you. So that's what I planned it for,
Right. Now, after the first match, and you kind of got into the feel of what to expect. Then did you start some kind of training so that you could start moving up in the rankings?
Yeah. So like right after that first match, I remember I got back to the hotel room and everything, had the winnings, and I had called my high school friend, James Isham, who's my coach now. I said, "Hey man, I just won this. I really think that I could do good, and I want to take this serious. What can we do some training?" And because he does it professionally out of his garage, he trains all kinds of high school athletes and adults, whoever wants to be trained, and he puts together specific programs for everybody depending on what their needs are. So he saw PowerSlap. He started studying. He did more work than I did in the beginning, to put this program together for me. So now we're in the, we're got a few under our belt, and we're getting better and better each time. So I think we're ahead of the game right now.
Right. So let's talk about PowerSlap 8. Whenever you went up against Munez. Munez won the belt in PowerSlap 7. And then so you're going up against the champ. When Ron and I were doing our predictions, I was looking at it, I was like, man, Munez is gonna be tough to beat because he just got the belt. I don't think he's gonna relinquish that belt anytime soon. But,
nobody wants to do that, that's never the goal.
Right. So then I started watching the pre-fight interviews, and seeing how you guys, responded to it. And then the match, man, that match was, I think that of all the matches that went the distance, other than Crazy Hawaiian and Danny, that was probably one of the toughest matches of the night.
Yeah, I mean, my predictions for the match were probably one of the greatest matches of all time, because these are two of the best chins. I know he has the grit. I know I got the grit, and no one's going to back down. And I knew that we were coming together like that. And we'll see who broke, and nobody broke. So, I mean, we could probably run that for 10 rounds and still be standing there,
Right. So whenever, after the match, when I was watching you stand there, you thought Munez had it.
Well, in my opinion, if you're gonna beat the champ, you got to beat the champ.
Right.
I didn't definitively beat him. I might have beat him in the judge's eyes. That's fine. I'll take it. But next time, I'm gonna look to really be more dominant.
Right. So when you found out that you actually won, what was that like for you? I mean, I saw you standing there. You were
tried so hard on stage not to cry and lose my mind, and then you got to, hurry up and get your stuff together. Dana's got to put the belt around you, and you got to do your interview with Charlie. So I was holding all the tears in. You could see me fighting it the whole time. And then, it was pure happiness, pure happy emotion.
Right. So, she was talking about all the stuff that you kind of went through to get to that point. What were some of the things that you went through, trying to get the belt?
A lot of training. There was definitely a lot of dieting that I changed up. There was a few times where I put down alcohol and really tried to lose weight the right way, because I try to go into that fight week already pretty much on weight, so I don't have to cut weight. Because that's the detrimental thing for most people is cutting that weight and getting really dehydrated. You're not able to perform at your best when you're trying to recuperate. So I try and come into fight week not having to lose too much, and really helps my confidence, I think. But as far as preparing, that part is just having to plug away and get up and go to the gym every day, and that's not too hard for someone that's motivated.
Right, right.
When you're
So
working towards that goal, it's definitely a good motivator.
when you're doing that, when you're trying to lose the weight, do you have like a specific kind of routine that you go by?
Yeah, so I mean, myself, I usually, and it's probably not the way other people would do it, but normally I eat one meal a day, so I'm intermittent fasting usually,
Oh, wow.
and I only try to eat red meat and vegetables usually.
Right,
So it's pretty strict on my intake.
right.
Um, it just takes a lot of discipline, really.
Yeah. And we talk about that, and you know, and we had like Turpin, who's missed weight twice now. He missed weight in 7 against Ron, and then against Vern. Um, how tough is that when you're that big to try to lose that kind of weight?
That I think that's part of the discipline thing, because some of them guys, they got a little bit more belly fat and stuff to hold more water. If you get in the sauna and you're cutting that weight, and you know usually scientifically it'd be a little bit easier if you got a little bit more weight, but
Yeah,
then there's also that discipline factor of, well, if you're doing that in the sauna,
yeah.
you got to be disciplined after you get out and
Right, right.
keep that weight off. You're trying to make it the 2 days or whatever you're cutting to make the weight, and then build it back on right after.
Cool. And so now that you have the belt, who do you think you're going to face next to defend the belt?
I think they run that match back.
Mm.
That was one of the better welterweight matches of all time, in my or power slap matches of all time. The electricity and the atmosphere. We were both trying to put on a show out there, and we did.
Right. So,
So I think, there's no question that rematch happens for sure.
oh yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, I agree. I think that they're going to have Munez come back. Who in the welterweight that's coming up do you think is going to be a strong force?
I think I'm excited to see a few people return. Debo hasn't had a match in forever. Andrew Fields hasn't had a match in forever. I'm really excited for those guys, being close friends with them and stuff. We're in, messenger groups and stuff. We chat every day. So I'm
Right.
really excited to see those guys come back and put on a show, because I know they're itching for that opportunity, and they're not going to let it, fall through the cracks.
Right. So now when they go through these too, that's one of the things too that I talk to the guys about is this road, the road to the title. I wish they would do more PowerSlap shows more often, where you can start seeing people raise it in the rankings. One, it helps you guys because you guys get to show up more often, get paid more often.
So I think that this coming year is going to be a big change as far as the frequency of our events and how we do them, because our Rumble contract just ended. So we're looking at a lot of bigger organizations as far as a service to put these shows on and whatnot. Our states are going to be opening up for shows and getting commissions legalized and whatnot. So we'll be able to travel this around more often and not just do shows in Vegas. Obviously, we're going overseas, but I think you'll start seeing a UFC event on a Saturday and PowerSlap on Friday before wherever they're traveling.
Wow. And they're starting to get sanctioned, like you said, in other cities. I think they just got sanctioned in California, Texas. I think they're working on Florida. I know they're working on Hawaii. And then, now they're going overseas, to Dubai and some of the other places out there. So the sport's definitely growing. And I can't wait till you guys get to Texas, because I want to come do the show live.
That would be awesome. Yeah, get you a media card.
Right. So yeah, but I'm glad to see how this is going, because what people don't realize, when this first started, it was kind of underground. They would just tell you a place to meet, and then now it's starting to get sanctioned, and you're seeing the crowd growing each time. They just moved to the new facility for the PowerSlap 8, so they could hold the crowd. Like I said, it went from like 300 to 3,000. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Apex, you can probably pack like 500 people in the Apex,
Right.
maybe a little more. But yeah, Fontainebleau, huge venue, one of the nicest resorts in all of Vegas, brand new, just opened up last year, something like that. It
Right.
was amazing. I've not seen anything like it in my life. I've worked in kitchens a long time, and I've seen some bigger kitchens, even for colleges and stuff.
Right.
This was unreal. Underneath the whole venue was nothing but a kitchen, and there was
Oh
hundreds
wow.
of employees working.
Wow.
It was cool.
Man, that is awesome. So let me ask you, when you're doing, like when you go to an event like that, what's the atmosphere like? Because it seemed like each time, like Power Slap 6, during the Super Bowl was huge. And I thought, okay, because it's in Vegas, during the Super Bowl, that's kind of why everybody showed up. But then Power Slap 7 happened, and they had the same thing, and then PowerSlap 8, they had an even bigger venue. So, what's it like stepping in there with that kind of atmosphere?
It's yeah, especially when it starts and everyone's running around. It's an intense environment. Everyone's running around, getting to their spots, and then you just see this well-oiled machine just ripping through the gears, and you're like, "Wow, man, this is really cool to be a part of." It's unreal. Like, you can't replicate the feeling of being a part of this. This whole organization in sport is its own unique experience for sure.
Right. So now that you won the belt, what's kind of transpired since then for you?
Well, yeah, obviously I'm getting a good, pop of followers and whatnot going.
Right.
Um, Tons of support from back home. Everyone in Michigan has been, hey, just want to say congratulations. You're putting Wyandotte in Michigan on the map. It's been, tons of that. So I'm
Right.
I'm ecstatic for that, because that was the whole goal,
Right.
is to, put on for my city and all that stuff, what everyone likes to do. So going forward, I just set up Buffalo Wild Wings for UFC 304. We're gonna do a meet and greet, whatever, take pictures with the belt. So that should be pretty fun, and we'll test the waters with this and set some stuff up more in the future. This is just like a test run later this month.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for all the things you guys getting to do with this too. The other thing that I've noticed too is that they're starting to get a lot more advertisers during the
Yeah,
power.
during the broadcast, we got more sponsors and stuff doing commercials, which is awesome.
So what I would love to see is some of those sponsors actually start getting you guys in and getting you guys involved in some of that marketing.
Oh, of course, yeah. And it's all going to happen in due time, I believe.
Mhm.
It's still really in infancy, because a lot of the athletes, we don't have experience in any of that stuff. So I think it's really probably more or less teams analyzing the
Right.
the participants of the sport and seeing who they can work into sponsorship and what they can do. I feel like they're definitely looking at us.
Right.
They just haven't pulled trigger on anybody yet.
Right. There's just a lot of great people in there, and a lot of them have these big showman personalities. You have the crazy Hawaiian. I can see him in doing commercials. Danny's just crazy, anyways.
Oh, did you see him? He got to knock out Larry Wheels yesterday. That was insane.
So that match right there was huge too. Because I've had Danny on the show, and so I know how big this guy is and all the stuff he's done. And I was like, this guy's going to really give Hawaiian, the crazy Hawaiian, a run for his money. And
Oh, they're both huge dudes. It was insane. I was
So,
surprised Danny was going down like that. That was a wild match.
right? And typically, once you go up against Crazy Hawaiian, I mean that dude's a beast as it is.
Yeah, it's really, you see their pictures on the TV and whatnot. Until you really stand next to these guys and see that they're actually 400 pounds, 6'3", super heavyweight, you
Right.
don't get to really see how big they are in real life.
Yeah. So
Giants, man, giants.
that's crazy too, man. So out of Power Slap 8, what was your favorite match that night? Other than yourself.
That dumpling match was crazy,
Oh,
man. Seeing Dumpling get fired up like that, point to Dana and said, yeah, that was
right.
really, really awesome to see. Camille, that, it sucks to see him get knocked out like that again, but, he is no fear getting out. I'll sign, I'll fight whoever. He's not
Right.
scared. So I'd really like to see him get a little bit of a better performance his next match,
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
congrats to Dumpling. I'm sure they're going to set up a title shot for him or a title contender fight for him.
Yeah. There's going to be him and Crazy Hawaiian. That's going to be
That very well could happen.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. I mean, that hit that Dumpling put on
That was heavy.
there, man. Yeah. Dude, when he hit Camille like that, man, and Camille went down, I was seriously concerned for him because he was down.
He was
for a
out,
while. Yeah.
but it's the risk we take. We all stand up there at every strike, and there's a little guy in the back of your head saying, "Not, don't be this time," not this time.
Right.
So it's kind of nerve wracking during these matches. You got to be confident in your chin, but still, everybody has a button, and if that button gets pushed,
Yeah.
you'd be waking up. What happened,
Man. So the other thing too, I talked about earlier is the women's division is growing now, and you have Jackie coming out, and you got Paige Van Zandt, and Sheena's still a beast, and even Kathalina and trying to think who else, but that whole women's division, you have so many tough women coming out now that I think is huge for the sport too, and it's funny too because especially with the Sheena Jackie matchup in PowerSlap 7, you start seeing that the women's division is almost as anticipated, probably sometimes even more than the men's rounds.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine where we get to the point on the cards where it's like even 4 women's matches and 4 men's matches?
And it's very possible because I think this is other than UFC, this is one of those few sports that I think that women can participate in and actually have a chance of competing as well as the men is in the sport.
I think that when we get more women in, it's just a matter of time before we're gonna have more women signing up because they had seen Paige Van Zandt on there or Katarina or Jackie or Sheena.
Right.
All these big name women stars are gonna attract the average person out of the woodwork. You know what I'm saying? They say, "Oh, I can do that." That's how I was. I was seeing like KO Chris get these knockouts. I could do that. That's the whole reason I signed up. So just getting them through their medicals and then having either a pre-recorded match or something on the prelims to get some of these newer women experience, that's going to take time. And then, it's just, you can't shoot your shot too fast. You gotta slowly, gradually rise.
Right. And you're watching it too with with this women's division. Eventually, they're going to have their different classes for title belts, the same as the men's division. One of the people I was really impressed with was Paige, because her coming over from UFC. I thought that it was going to be tough for her. One, she's small. Yeah, I mean, she's small, but that girl's tough. But when she came over, I was like, coming from the UFC into power slap is going to be tough because you've got to be disciplined with the smack, and we kind of witnessed that with Jackie and Sheena, in power slap 7. So I was kind of waiting to see how she was going to adapt. But I thought she did really well.
For her first match, very impressive. Yeah.
And she came in and that girl's a beast, man.
And she put a show on. Like, she wasn't just up there going through the motions. She was entertaining at the same time, which goes to show her MMA experience and all her other Misfits boxing and whatnot that she's done, which is another thing that's great, having someone have experience in other disciplines come over and do so well in power slap.
Right.
There's a lot of people that come over and don't do so well in power slap.
Right.
Because they've done so much training and other stuff.
Right.
I think it's really impressive she was able to quickly switch over in that short time period.
Right.
And now she's definitely going to come back. So, like, the next one, she's going to be even more impressive because she has a match under her belt now. So she's probably going to be pretty scary in that women's division.
Yeah, and I see her possibly going up against Jackie. Coming up because and Jackie, coming out from 7 to 8, I could see that she took 7 serious. You know what I mean? And when she came into 8, she was more focused and a lot more disciplined when she came in.
For sure. That shows progress too, and it's someone taking it more serious than just, oh, this is just a paycheck and I'm just doing this just because to do it. That's not what any of us are doing. All of us are here chasing the same goals and the same dreams. And that's what makes this, it makes it really fun to watch because you go from these stars and then they putting up against the average person.
Right.
I think that is motivating for a fan that would see that as a normal person saying, oh, well, they're chasing it. Why can't I do something like that?
Right.
I'm just a normal person just like them. And I think it's very relatable because we got a little bit more leniency as far as skill gap and whatnot. You can be a little bit of an inexperienced fighter and you can sign up for this and you can practice and see how you do, and you probably won't do too bad. You just got to have the mentality for it, I think.
Right.
So it's intriguing for the fan to watch normal people get to succeed and chase their dreams, and it really gives them something to connect with.
Right. And that's another good point too, is a lot of the guys I've sat down and talked to, like Ron, DeBell, these guys are just humble people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they're everyday people. They're not like,
Ron's he drives truck and does logging in the woods, DeBell, he's studying to be a lawyer.
Right.
He's going to school, getting his law on.
Right.
There's a lot of guys that are in the trades. We got sprinkler fitters, welders, Vern the mechanic, we got all these normal people that want to chase their dreams and chase a goal, and it's very inspiring. I love it. I love that I was able to join and be a part of this new rush of something.
Right. And too, man, from a fan's point of view, it's I love watching it too because and bringing you guys on the show and talking to you guys and just seeing how you guys are everyday people, just like, anybody watching the show that decided, hey, I'm going to, take a chance on this, this new sport. And, sports is growing. And I think that, just watching, all the different guys coming through here has been really cool to see. And then to watch people like you who, once you won, what, you could tell the second they raised their hand, what that meant to you.
Oh yeah. It's huge. And it's going to be that same moment for each person.
Right.
Each person that wins this belt in this sport is gonna be on stage in front of these fans and experience it for themselves. And everyone's gonna react different, but there's got to be that same rooted feeling of I did it. I did it. And people love to see that emotion that I showed on the stage, and pointing to my family. I had my whole family there pretty much. That immediately, sister, my mom, dad, and a few friends. Some of the power slappers came too. So just seeing my friends and supporters in the crowd at the event during one of the most happiest moments of my life was awesome, unexplainable.
Wow. So what's next for you now? So you got the event coming up, and then when do they start announcing for PowerSlap 9? Do they normally
Yeah, so I obviously haven't gotten any contact yet or anything. So for me, it's just going to be I'm trying to find a vehicle right now. So after I do that, we're going to be back into camp. And I already told Coach yesterday when I went and saw him yesterday, I said, hey, man, can't be having any close ones like that anymore. So he's in the books and making a program already. So we're almost getting back at it already,
Right. Cool. So now if somebody wants to follow you on your social media and kind of keep up with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
On Instagram, it's Babyface PowerSlap. And then my Facebook is just Anthony Blackburn. I haven't got on the X too much or the TikTok or anything. Like, everyone's been telling me I should have been on it. Now I'm missing out because I had all this opportunity to be using them and I'm not even started on it. So,
right. So, but that's funny because a lot of the guys I talk to, they don't even get on social media, and
you kind of have to build your own brand up. You gotta have that interaction with the fans. You got to be doing interesting things. People want to see what other people are doing in their lives. That's the only. Right. That's why social media was created. That's why we're always on our phone, because we're curious creatures. You know what I'm saying? We are always snooping. No matter if you're not doing it for a reason.
Oh. I think we lost him. Hold on. You'll be back on. If you guys haven't had a chance to see the matches we're talking about, definitely go check out that link with the interview I have with Ron coming up later today. Go back and watch those matches. Those matches were awesome. Let's see where Anthony is, and we'll be able to close the show out in a little bit. All right, let's give him a second. I know he was out in his car, so sometimes the Wi-Fi kind of a little tricky. Nope. Looks like his phone died. So, all right, guys. That was our friend Anthony Babyface Blackburn. If you guys, like I said, missed that match, definitely go back and check that out on Rumble. Oh, here he goes. You all right, Mitch?
Holy cow, the phone got hot. Said, hey, now we're burning up.
Oh. Well, cool.
Sorry about that.
So we were just going over your social media. They say you can follow you on Instagram and on Facebook.
Yep. Babyface PowerSlap on Instagram, and then Anthony Blackburn on Facebook. Yeah, I'm sitting in the car just burning up here. I ain't got the air on, because I can't hear too good.
Right. Cool, brother. Well, we'll let you go then. But thank you, brother, again for being on the show, and congratulations on the big win. I can't wait to see the next match and see you, defend that title, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much for having me on. Appreciate all the fans. Stay tuned because the next one's going to be even better.
Yeah, and it's been growing too. So if you got, like I said, if you guys missed 8, go back and check out that link. Go see 8. Make sure you watch the Munez and Babyface's fight. That was one of the best of the night. So until next time, guys, remember, you are uniquely designed with a purpose, and always keep moving forward. Peace.